AATBirds Weekly Report is the Eagle news, notes, and analysis you need. It's all birds, all the time.
How about that, Eagle?
And welcome to the AATBirds Inside Swoop. Eagles-Washington week. Going to break down the matchup between division rivals here. And Eagles have a chance to secure the NFC East title with the victory on Sunday. So we're going to break it all down. I do want to get your thoughts on this, Chip. So today, Bryce Huff's 21-day activation, his window was opened. What are your thoughts on? I know we had in the chat, there was a couple of people that were talking about it. I'll give you my quick opinion on it, and then you can go with yours. My thing is, I think it's great. Getting him back gives you more rotation. They're going with 3 guys right now, and this gives you a type of role because you've seen Nolan Smith take a jump in snaps because of Brandon Graham's injury, and he's played very well. Of course, Josh Sweat's playing as he's the starter. We know that he's playing really well as well. And then Jalex Hunt is getting snaps in there, and he's looking pretty good, doing, a lot of things in terms of the run game, rushing the passer. He's doing a lot of good things for a rookie, a 3rd-round rookie out of, Houston Christian. So it's, like to see that. And I think Bryce Huff, for me, if you can use him as kind of how he was used last year in that pass rusher type of role on 3rd downs and be able to, maximize his pass rush ability, I think that's nothing but great for this defense, especially with the way they played.
Yeah, I think I look at it in a different way. I'm looking at it as this is a team that has had a very early bye week, and they've been kind of going through the slog of a couple really physical games. You got 3 games left. They're all NFC East battles. You can win the NFC East this weekend. I think taking some snaps, I don't want to say taking snaps away is beneficial, but just the exertion piece.
You have that rotation coming into play.
Yeah, you get the additional help, and you can become as healthy as possible for the playoffs. Now, the other part is Bryce Huff really has been a letdown as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives him a chance to prove himself. The other thing is, we're going to find out in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, maximum of 3 weeks, where the Eagles are going to be seated. And if there's nothing left to win or lose, I don't necessarily see the reason to rush a Bryce Huff back. But again, he didn't have a great season. So to me, I think it's helpful, strictly on a rotational basis.
Yeah, and listen, his window was activated. So he doesn't have to be activated totally this week. They could wait till next week or potentially, the last game of the season if, depending on what is to play for. But, it's good to have some reinforcements. I will say, speaking of injuries, the James Bradberry 6 to 8 week injury at the end of August is the longest 6 to 8 week injury that I've ever seen. Not saying he's going to even get activated and play again as an Eagle. That kind of ship has sailed, I believe. But it's just funny when I saw the Bryce Huff being activated, I thought about that. I saw someone put something, and I'm like, it made me think. I'm like, isn't that is true? It was supposed to be 6 to 8 weeks, and the longest 6 to 8 weeks I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 6 to 8 weeks. We're not going to play you. Now, Bradbury's the kind of guy that, same situation that I was just talking about with Huff. Darius Slay has been banged up a lot this season. So if we can get to a point where we know where we are going to be, you can sit Slay down for a game and let Bradbury get torched by whatever 15th string quarterback of the Giants is going to be playing the last week of the season. I'm pretty sure Teddy Bridgewater said after winning his state championship, he wants to make a return to the NFL. So I'm looking forward to James Bradbury versus Teddy Bridgewater in the big concluding game. That's the level of where I'm at with Bradbury. Literally use him because he's on a contract. Let him get a little bit of tape out there after he has recovered from his NFL-flavored coma that he's been in since he pulled a hamstring in August.
Yeah, so whatever. It is what it is. But we get into the Washington Commanders here, and listen, it's going to be a tough game. You played them a number of weeks ago on Thursday Night Football, and the defense played a very good game against a top talented team. Held a Terry McLaurin down to one reception, 10 yards. Otherwise, the rest of the weeks following, he's had some pretty good games. So he's definitely a player that you want to keep an eye on. Jaden Daniels, of course, the way he can use his legs and the way that he can, move the pocket and be able to get out of pass rush situations. And, kind of like how Lamar was able to do it a couple weeks ago. You just have to be fundamentally sound, which, we've seen the Eagles be doing defensively the last couple of weeks and really since the bye week, essentially. So for me, it's just, I'm prepared, but it's going to be a tough matchup in Washington.
I don't know. I mean, I think the NFC East of it all makes it a tough matchup. But right now, with the way that this team is firing on all cylinders, I would hope that they don't do anything along the lines to make us rethink that. Like, the Eagles are a better team than the Commanders. They are a team that shut down Terry McLaurin the first time around. They are a team that made Jaden Daniels look like a rookie. This is a team that, I haven't looked at the injury report yet, but we dealt with Austin Eckler the last time. I haven't seen him play in a couple of weeks because of
He's on IR.
Yeah, his gnarly concussion. I mean, this is a team that had very limited resources, and they are becoming more and more limited and more one-dimensional. So, in all honesty, the Eagles should have a pretty easy victory. But it's the NFC. It's the NFC East. There is no, and it's the NFL. There's no such thing as an easy victory. But I feel very confident going into this week, especially now that the Eagles are developing that mindset once again of keep talking your crap. We'll be the underdogs. We'll be the worst, best team you've ever seen. That's fine because we're going to stomp you in the throat.
Austin Eckler's hurt, of course, on IR. They had two concussions over the weekend against the Saints, one being Zach Ertz, which kind of was Jaden Daniels' safety blanket on that Thursday night game, and Jeremy Chin, which he's kind of a jack-of-all-trades type of player for Dan Quinn and his Washington defense. So if those two guys are to miss, those are some pretty substantial misses, one on offense, one on defense. And, it's going to be a tough game because you're going to be on the road. You're playing the team a second time. So, I still feel confident in the Philadelphia Eagles, no doubt about it, but just know it's not going to be a super, easy game. But again, this team,
I don't even think that easy game. I mean, look, I do think that when
you get a comfortable win, not easy game, but like a comfortable type of win.
When you compare the Commanders to the Steelers are better. When you compare the Commanders to the Ravens are better. And these are compare them to the Rams.
Yeah.
The Rams are better. These are teams that the Eagles really handled. So the only thing, look, I understand the 2 times playing them through thing. That's just basic football stuff. I understand the NFC East of it all, but when it all comes down to it, the Eagles are a team that has been ascending and gotten better week after week after week. Now they have, something else to prove because they didn't run the ball great last time. Their passing game looks great, but they didn't run the ball great. And now I really do think that the Eagles have a lot to play for this weekend. I told you at the beginning of the season that the Commanders were going to make it into the playoffs. I still find that to be the case. I just don't think that this is going to be the Commanders' week.
Yeah, and I think the one thing when you look at the Eagles and it's, of course, as always, you got to limit turnovers. You don't want to give extra possessions.
Correct.
And the one thing when you look at the Washington Commanders and their defense, like they don't have a ton of star players. Like Bobby Wagner's in his elder statesman years. He's still a quality player. Frankie Louvu's a good player. Of course, Deron Payne on the defensive line, but they don't have any like marquee stars, but Dan Quinn is getting the most out
Because
of these
Dan
guys.
Quinn's a good coach. Dan Quinn has every right to be in the consideration for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you on that. But I think the one thing when you take a look at the Washington Commanders is they're towards the bottom in run defense. So
Correct.
essentially, let's see how they deploy against the Eagles. Do they put in 8-man box? Do they play a single high safety? What do they do? Because the Eagles showed you last week, you do that, you stack the box to stop the run.
Whatever you decide to do, we have additional answers.
Exactly. And it showed you that. So it's going to be interesting to see what Washington does, because towards the end of that game, Saquon was able to get off a couple of really long runs for touchdowns and, be able to, lengthen the game and, the run defense, of course. But what are they going to do? Are they going to stack the box? They're going to play single high, play two high safety. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Eagles are able to do against the Washington defense, whether it is throw the ball or if they're able to run the ball. But it's just the physical nature of the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, what really takes over games.
Of our kind of new love on the AAT Sports Network of wrestling and professional wrestling. In answer to your query, Johnny, it doesn't matter what the Philadelphia Eagles have so many weapons, and they're going to hit you from many, many different ways. So if the Commanders commit to stopping the run, we'll beat you with the pass. If the Commanders commit to stopping the pass, we'll beat you with a run. The only thing that can stop the Philadelphia Eagles is the Philadelphia Eagles themselves committing turnovers and just playing that kind of lackadaisical brand of football that they're known to get trapped into every now and then. The only thing that we did not see when we played the Commanders last time was Marshawn Lattimore in the backfield.
He will be active.
He will be active, and he had a good first game. I mean, there's no denying that Lattimore has been an addition to the Commanders team. I just don't think one Marshawn Lattimore is enough to stop all of the weapons that the Eagles provide.
Yeah, I think you're right there. And, what the Eagles are able to deploy. And, you have Saquon and even the way they use Kenny Gainwell. So it's going to be
a great game.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see, how they are able to deploy the weapons on offense and able to move the ball, because they can do so many different things. And it's what really, proves to a lot of us when we watch this Eagles team, like, yeah, they can beat you one way, but there's a number of ways they can beat you. It isn't just one way.
Right.
It's a multitude of ways. And then you look at their defense, and the one thing with their defense is if they're able to get turnovers. And the thing that is, if you turn the ball over to the Eagles, they have extra possessions then. And the extra possessions wind up turning into points.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think one thing is, I thought about this too today. Like, I know early in the season, we were a little skeptical about the coach, about Nick Sirianni, and about kind of
doing stupid shit.
The way everything was going, after the Cleveland game, him yelling at the fans, a lot of stuff that was going on. And, I had a lot of doubts. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I think
They
have
were
a lot
healthy
of confidence now. I am very confident in the head coach because he gets the team ready. He has the right message. The team buys into it. The respect factor is in there. And of course, he does have a good group of coordinators and coaches around. They built a great staff. And, I think they're on a collision course here to have these coordinators for multiple years, which I think is even more beneficial because it keeps that continuity.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm all bought in to it because I just think the way this team is going, they're just on such a roll, playing together, fighting as a team, almost like a bully ball type of thing. They're going to out physical you. You think you're physical, just wait until you see us. And I think that all comes from the coach too, and his message and what he preaches. So for me, I'm all ball back in.
Yeah. I mean, Sirianni, look, when we approached the bye week, we, with a very fair assessment, said things have got to change or this is going to be it. And that was based off of not just 4 games. Let's be really honest here. It wasn't based off of 4 games. It was based off of one of the most historic meltdowns in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles the previous season.
Yeah.
It was catastrophic, with no answers. And then to start the season the way that they did, it looked bad. It looked like a continuation of that. So when he did eventually go, okay, hold on, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do this, and kind of went back to what he said. How many times have we said this? In his original press conference, we're going to put players in the best position to succeed. We're not going to be a scheme-based team. We're going to be a how can we be successful-based team. He said that from day one, and when he went away from that and tried to have Jalen Hurts turn into a passing quarterback strictly, even though they have an MVP caliber player in a Saquon Barkley, it didn't, shockingly, work. So now that they have gone back to using all of their weapons and being unpredictable, look, Dan Quinn is a defensive coach, but it is still tough to game plan for 17 different styles of offense in 1 week. And that's what he's going to have to do, because that's what the Eagles provide. If you spend all week preparing for the run, we will hit you with the pass. If you spend all week preparing for the pass, we will hit you with the run. If you spend some of your week doing some of the, we'll hit you with the other. I mean, this Eagles team is so vicious on various levels that if they protect the ball, there's not a lot that can stop them. And as we've said with the other teams, especially in the NFC, I mean, look, the Lions just lost another couple of weapons. I mean, the Eagles are perched for an attack right now, and I really am looking forward to it.
And I think they're such a cohesive unit. So I want to show you this. So I saw this, and I'm like, this is awesome. So this is Nakobe Dean's Instagram. Okay.
Yes.
And you have a lot of comments here, of course, Philadelphia Eagles. His post, it says, let him cook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you have the Philadelphia Eagles page cooking up something special. You have Jake Elliott with laughing. You have Matt Leo, who's a coach for the Eagles, Connor Barwin, big play Slay, no way, Mr. Walk You Down with Fire. So AJ Brown, Cooper DeJean laugh. So it's like, what are they laughing at? So if I'm going to go through it, so it's just pictures of Nakobe Dean, nothing special, just picture the defense, the players, and then boom. And if you don't know who that is, that's Vic Fangio. It's making
Fangio cooking up a storm.
Cooking up some meatballs. I thought that was hilarious. And you have all the players commenting on it.
This
like
team is
every single buddy. Every single buddy.
Every single buddy. I love that.
You know what? That's I just thought about that. But everybody, every single player seems to be commenting on that, laughing. And that's just something this team has those 2017 vibes.
It has the 2017 vibes, and you look at some of the other successful teams. Like when I see stuff like that, I think about that Chicago Bears team.
They had a lot of that too.
They put that Chicago Bears team that put out the Icky Shuffle and all that stuff. Like they're loose, they're fun.
No. Chicago Bears, the Icky Shuffle's the Bengals. Let's get that right.
Not the Icky. I'm sorry. Whoever put out the rap video.
Yes, that was the Bears. And it's funny, the Eagles did make one too in the late 80s.
Right. I mean, we have a flipping Christmas album. You know what I mean?
That too. That's
the Eagles have fun. They do the right thing. And then when it comes time to punch somebody in the mouth, they punch somebody in the mouth. So I think the Eagles have a lot going for them. It's starting. It's been feeling really good. Now, not for nothing, and this is going to sound not ideal, I would like them to have their meltdown game before the playoffs. So be that against the Cowboys or the Giants. I just don't want it to be this week. I want this week to be we won the NFC East first time out the gate.
What if they don't have a meltdown at all for the rest of the year?
Then I'm going to be on pins and needles the rest of the season, because as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you always wait for the other shoe to drop. You always wait for the other wheel to fall off.
But what if the meltdown game was a close victory against Carolina?
Yeah,
could have a game and still come out with the W. So hey, hopefully there is no what you're worrying about.
Yeah, meltdown game, yet they still won. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm just trying to.
I'll take it.
Push you in the right direction.
I'll take it.
Because listen, we want to make sure that the run lasts all the way into February and we could do a lot of videos from Broad Street on a Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon or morning, afternoon, whatever. You know where I'm getting at. I'm not going to go any deeper with that, but so this leads us to our unusual segment where we get picks wrong.
It's time for the Ulecka locks of the week. Who's your lock?
Alrighty. So I'm going to go to you first, Chip, since you're not ready. And last week, we'll talk about last week first, so you have a little bit of time. You had A.J. Brown, 150 yards, and Jalen Hurts with an interception, and we're both wrong on that one. You were wrong on that one, I mean. I was wrong, too, because I had Chuba Hubbard over 150 yards and a touchdown against Dallas, and he did not do neither. So
I ended up losing that matchup, by the way. Thanks. I'm playing for 5th place in that league.
Well, I moved on in my one league, and
my other league, I'm in round 2, so.
Yeah, I'm in round 2 in both my leagues, so I'm on good ground there. So this brings us to week 16 of the slate. Now, there are college football games. There's NFL games. You have that choice of what you would like to.
I'm sticking in the NFL. I mean, I have my predictions about what's going to happen in college football land. But I'm sticking in the NFL today. And okay. I am going to...
Do you not know?
No, I have a couple. And I'm going to go for an absurd one. Because why not?
Oh boy.
I'm looking at this Lions and Bears matchup.
I was going to go this game. Luckily, I didn't.
And maybe, again, it's me speaking stuff into existence. But I do think that with what the Lions have injury-wise, they are going to falter at some point. Chicago
stinks.
They're terrible. They are absolutely awful. But the Lions are playing outside, in the cold, in Chicago, in December. And they're injured, and they're beat up, and they're tired. So I'm going to speak into existence that the Eagles will move just one step closer to that number 1 seed when the Bears upset the Detroit Lions on Sunday.
Wow. Chicago beats Detroit. Wow. That one is interesting.
I have to speak it into existence, Johnny.
Yeah, listen, I get that. I get it. So I was thinking about in terms of what I was going to do matchup-wise. What I was going to pick. I had a couple. I had that game, but then I quickly went away from it. And I went to the Seattle and Minnesota game.
I looked at that one.
Essentially, it's, I'm kind of going on your frame, frame-like thinking here. So, but I'm going to go with Seattle here, and I'm going to go that Seattle will pull off a victory against Minnesota.
With Taylor Heineke a quarterback.
No. Geno Smith did practice today, so I expect Geno to be playing. If not, Sam Howell would be the quarterback, but I expect Geno.
That's what I meant, Sam Howell. Different Commander's quarterback.
Yeah. So, and I think Seattle's defense will be able to get some pressure on Darnold and, make it a little difficult for him. So I'm going to go with, and they're playing in Seattle, so I'm going to go Seattle gets the victory over the Minnesota Vikings. So you and I both going with some upsets here. So it's all right.
Like I said, speaking stuff into existence for the purpose of the Eagles' benefit.
So Woods Wrestling Corner here is commenting, thought on Brian Robinson saying the Commanders feel they are the better team. So they were talking about last game with him on a radio show, I believe. And he had talked about, we just have to do what we have to do. We have to, make sure we're controlling the controllables. And he had mentioned that we feel we're the better team. They can feel they're the better team. I understand that they're not the better team, but what else is he going to say? He's not going to say, yeah, they're the better team, but we think we can win. They're going to think they're the better team. That's fine. I think the Eagles just have to focus on stopping Brian Robinson, not let him get a lot of big gains in the run game, because he is a talented running back. So it's just make sure you control him.
Which they're very able to do because our two linebackers have been is it the highest graded linebackers in the NFL this season since week 4 or whatever it was? I know you sent me something.
I know they're up there. They're up there in the PFF rankings, so they're definitely up there. Also, Damien's checking in here. Another nice game of Jalen? Question mark?
I think that this is more of another Saquon game because it's what is dictated by the defensive levels of the Commanders. Now, maybe the Commanders turned into a better run-stopping team, but from what we have seen, the Commanders struggle to stop the run, which means we don't need Jalen to have a great game. We need him to have a good game and Saquon to do what he does.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get that.
That'd be swell.
I think they may try and bottle up Saquon, so I think Jalen's going to have a pretty good throwing
Johnny,
game.
This is my question. Who do they have that can bottle up Saquon?
If you put 8 guys in the box.
Okay.
Deron Payne.
Sure.
You put 4 or 5 across the line and do a heavy set there to make sure that you're
the only team that recently has been able to stop Saquon is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that is because they had Cam Hayward and TJ Watt, 2 elite players. The Commanders don't have that.
I'm just saying.
Put 8 guys in the box all you want. At some point, the play action pass, which they will utilize, and that's where Jalen will have those opportunities in those moments. At some point, the play action pass means you have to start dropping people back, and that is where Saquon will absolutely destroy this Commanders defense.
And that's fine. And hopefully at the end of the game, like it was when the Eagles win a 21-play, 88-yard shoot up.
That was beautiful.
Minutes.
That was beautiful.
No, it was. And, it's about the controlling the game, which they can do. But I think Jalen's going to have a good game. I think he'll have over, 230 passing yards. I think you're going to get a deep shot or 2 to AJ or Devontae. I think they're going to have a good game that way. And,
Did
Saquon.
You notice, by the way, and we didn't talk about this on the recap show. Thinking back a week where we talked, when I mentioned something and you found it very interesting. I said that Jalen has not been throwing guys open. He has been waiting for people to be open and then throwing the ball. Did you notice against the Steelers, he allowed his athletes to go make plays? The ball went out and our athletes made plays. I mean, it literally was I feel it's exactly what I described he hadn't been doing all season.
If you think about the first throw of the game where he went up the seam to Calcaterra, he let Calcaterra get up there, snag that ball. It's
Tom Brady could not stop talking about how quickly Jalen Hurts got rid of the ball.
Yeah, and listen, the quick throws like that, the confidence builds up, and then watch out, because if the confidence gets up there and gets to the 2022 level, it may be trending towards, watch out, because they can run the ball, they can throw the ball, they can play defense. It's a scary thing. Yeah, and keep shutting up the world. Yeah, Todd. Absolutely. But now it brings us into.
I feel like I know where we're both going to go, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Brings us into the prediction time.
Okay.
I will start. Since you started with the locks, I'll start with the prediction. Again, I think it's going to be a closer game. It's, you're playing in Washington, and I had the Philadelphia Eagles coming away with a win because I think they're going to be able to, get the victory down there in Washington, and I have them winning 24-20. So it's a lower scoring type of game, but I still believe the Eagles will get the victory. It'll be 24-20.
While the Commanders have a defensive minded coach. The Eagles have too many offensive weapons. On the flip side of that, the Philadelphia Eagles defense is quite impressive. And they've been quite impressive for a while. I do not think this game is as close as possible. I have the Eagles winning 31-14.
Ooh. Now I will love that.
And I was actually going to go like slightly higher with the Commanders score. I was going to go 31-17. But again, I look at the way this Eagles team plays defense, and you've got really great offenses not being able to do anything. And I just don't see the Commanders as a great offense yet.
Listen, it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a fun game. Next week at this time, it'll be Christmas, so we won't be doing an inside swoop on Christmas Day. Most likely, probably wait until the day after Christmas. I think that probably lines up better with our schedules in terms of, listen, I have 2 young kids, so it'll be a lot of, we both have 2 kids, so it's a lot of presents, a lot of gift opening, a lot of stuff going on. So it'll be, and I'm sure I'll be up early.
One of the gifts I can open is my NFC East Championship shirts.
You know, I hate those shirts.
What?
I hate those shirts.
I know. I was just trying to make a present joke, dude.
But no, it's going to be, it'll probably be a Thursday show. I just think that's probably best. We'll be able to, maybe Santa will bring us something special. Never know.
What is he bringing us? We do a digital podcast. What is he bringing us? New spyware?
We you never know. Listen, you don't know that. But in regards to the holidays, what is the best cookie on the holidays? Now you can go any way here. I wanted to throw this out there as a fun little ending thing here.
So it's not my favorite cookie. It's the best holiday cookie?
Or how about this? Your top 5 holiday treats. Now this could be anything. It could be pies, it could be cookies, it could be anything. But it has to be holiday related.
See, I'm not necessarily big on holiday related things. Like that's kind of why I asked the question. Because like my favorite cookie is an oatmeal raisin cookie. It's not necessarily a Christmas cookie.
Oh my God.
You stop it, sir. Oatmeal raisin cookies are the best cookie ever. Thank you so much.
All right, how about this? I'll do one better for you. All right. We won't go with holiday. Oh, I'm going to change it. We won't do that. We'll do your top 5 holiday/Christmas movies.
Okay.
And then give me one overrated one. So after you do all your top 5, give me one overrated movie. Because I did see something earlier today that was interesting and got me thinking. So that's why I want to put this. It's
hold
good.
on. Let me quickly organize.
He's getting some pen and paper.
Let me organize my thoughts here. Make sure I can actually write on this paper.
That's a lot of thought.
Okay.
So you have to do your top 5 holiday movies. Which could be any holiday, whether it's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Festivus, whatever you would like. If you would like, I can go first while you.
Already at 3, so we're okay for a second. Just give me another 2 seconds. I'm at 4.
Wow, you're quick. I think we did this one year, I believe.
We did.
But it's always fun to do it. Can't say, it's not fun because sometimes things change,
I got a top 4. I can't think of a 5th one that quickly. All right.
You can't think of a 5th one? There's so many Christmas movies.
Well, I can go overrated really easily.
Okay, well, now we won't do that first. So do your top 4.
My top 4.
Can't get a 5th one.
Okay. And if a 5th one comes to me, I'll add it at the end. All right. So number 4 is Muppets Christmas Carol.
Terrible.
That is just what?
It already started with an awful decision.
False. You have Muppets and Michael Caine playing it serious as a damn heart attack, which makes it. If it wasn't Michael Caine playing it as seriously as possible, it's okay.
Oh,
He's literally got puppets all around him, and he goes, "Nope, I'm a classically trained actor. I got this." So Muppets Christmas Carol is number 4. Why are you still laughing at me?
I can just imagine what the rest of your list is going to be.
Number 3 is a new one. It's on Apple TV, and I have watched this many, many times since it came out 2 years ago. It is the movie Spirited.
Holy shit. This is a terrible list already.
Spirited. With
You're like the New York Giants at drafting. This is what this list is.
With Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. Another Christmas Carol theme kind of thing. But again, number 3.
Is all your things going to be sing-alongs? Is that what it is? Is this what this come to? You do
Number
High School
2.
Musical Christmas?
Number 2 is Elf. Number 2 is Elf.
Now, I did see someone say that Elf is one of the most overrated Christmas movie, which I disagreed with.
Probably, but not mine. Number 2 is Elf. My number 1 is a personal number 1. Number 1 is the old dog crap claymation Santa Claus is coming to town.
Oh my God.
With the Bürgermeister burger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I guess if you're looking for a 5th, my number 5 would be Home Alone.
Okay. Well, that's at least decent.
That's my 5th best. But I could take it or leave it.
Okay. So my number 5. Oh wait, what's your overrated? You didn't say that.
Do your 5 and then we'll see
okay.
if one is my
and we'll both
overrated.
go overrated. So my number 5, I watched it last night. It is 4 Christmases. Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon.
You went rom-com off the bat? Get out of here.
I had to.
You're going to ding me for musical Christmas, but you went rom-com?
Yes. Number 4, A Christmas Story, because it's something that has played my whole life on Christmas Eve. I know it's an overplayed, but listen, for me, it's something that's a tradition type of thing. So,
right. So what's wrong with you having your tradition, but Santa Claus is coming to town being my tradition is not okay?
Fine. You're okay. Number 1's a little out there, but
It's my favorite, and I haven't seen it yet this year, so I'm bummed.
Number 3, Santa Claus, Tim Allen.
It's a good one. It's a good one. A little morbid if you think about it.
Yeah, it's okay though. I like that one. I was gonna put like one that just missed my list. Elf, Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way is so terrible. I love it. I also just watched, because we were scrolling to try and find anything to watch, and we ended up watching I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Okay. I saw that one. I was gonna watch
that movie. Does not hold up.
I was on 3 there, right?
Yeah.
All right. 2, I have Home Alone. Home Alone franchise 1 and 2. You lump them together. I've always watched it. I enjoy it. Number 1, I love Christmas Vacation. It's another one that's.
We just watched that the other day too.
Usually we first watch it the day after Thanksgiving. But I love that movie. It's a good movie. Of course, you have like Jack Frost and The Polar Express, all those type of movies too. So let's go with overrated. What is your
real quick? My number 6 movie, because I forgot about this.
You didn't give a number 5.
I did. Home Alone.
Oh, okay.
My number 6 is Gremlins.
Alrighty. So what is your overrated?
My overrated is Christmas Story.
Okay.
I think that is just. It is a terrible movie. It holds a place in way too many people's hearts. It is rude. It is crude. They even made a second one recently that was
terrible.
Awful.
I don't. Yeah, for me, it's something about Christmas Eve, because as a kid, always went to my grandmother's and we put that on at 7:00 when it came on. It's just
it has a emotional connection for you.
That's why it's 4 and not 1.
But mine is like a super connection. Like, I don't believe it's Christmas until I've seen that movie and heard Bruce Springsteen's version of that song. Neither of which has happened this year.
I'm surprised that you didn't say Frosty the Snowman. You seem like a Frosty guy.
Nope, I'm not a Frosty guy.
You're not.
I'm also not like a super huge Rudolph guy.
Interesting.
With the exception of some of the side characters, like I would be a dentist. Kills me. And you can't like Cornelius. Kills me. All right, just kidding. I'm a Rudolph guy.
You got yelled at.
By whom?
I don't know. You said why are you a Rudolph guy now? All of a sudden.
Oh, because I am a Rudolph guy. I started naming the characters.
Gotcha.
And if I look on my tree, I've got my Jinky tree in the back here.
Yeah.
Because I'm not allowed to put nice things on my actual tree. So we have our Jinky tree. I definitely have a Lego Rudolph character. So I think I am a Rudolph guy.
I think you are. So my overrated one, I watch it. I don't mind it. It's good. It's okay. I don't. Jim Carrey's the Grinch.
No, you are so wrong.
I get it. I understand. But
that is, I can't believe I actually forgot to. You needed, if you're going to make me do a list like this, I need time to prepare. I threw stuff on a piece of paper very quickly.
It's okay.
That would make my list.
I like another one that's pretty good. Christmas with the Cranks.
No.
I like that one.
Doesn't belong in the same conversation, sir.
I didn't say it was good. What about Bad Santa?
No.
Fred Claus.
Nope. Jingle Jangle.
So how about this one?
What are your thoughts on Jingle Jangle?
I've never seen it.
Yep, you wouldn't, you lily white punk.
Just saying.
I am so much more into the urban scene than you are, sir.
So, what about? Did you like the Christmas Chronicles?
Yes, I think the acting is atrocious.
Yeah, the acting. The acting is
I think
bad,
the stories are good.
Yes, I like that. So
the acting is god awful.
Yeah, but
the stories are good.
What about Jingle All the Way with Larry the Cable Guy? Jingle All the Way 2. No,
I've never seen Jingle All the Way 2.
And there's a reason, because
what about, have you seen Red 1?
I have not, and I did hear it's on Amazon now.
It is good.
So I will be watching that. So yeah,
I'll have to watch
that. But that wraps that up.
I think we spend more time talking about that than the Eagles Commanders matchup. I'm not going to lie.
That's okay. Not a big deal. It's fun. It's Christmas time.
Sure, dude. It's Christmas.
But
what shall I wear?
But with that, as we always
cancel that again.
He was perfect for that part. I will say that. But with that, as we always do, we always end it with our key phrase.
I'm not going.
Go Birds.
Other green things. Go Birds.
This is Matt Ware. Hey, for all the Eagle content you need, go follow All About the Birds. They do a damn thing. Check them out.
Hey, Eagles fans, I may be in Tampa, but I know where to find the best Eagles content out there. Check out my friends at All About the Birds.
Philadelphia, what's up? This your boy Freddie Mitchell, a.k.a. Fred X. It's all about the bird.
All birds all the time. All birds all the time.
All About the Birds provides you with weekly analysis, game recaps, informative interviews, and it's all birds all the time.